How important is a property manager to you on day one?
Well, the property manager is, I would think, the most important piece of any multifamily property. We went through a few months where we fired every property manager we had on every asset that was above
Wow.
20 units because it was just a poor lineup of challenges that we had. And I talk about that on my show a little bit, but really the impetus is we found a amazing property manager in one of our markets, which
Nice.
showed us where we were lacking on
Ooh.
our other property managers. And we're like, oh, it shouldn't have to be this hard. A really professional, solid management company, they're expensive, but they are adding so much more value to your
That's right.
property. And so we were like blown away and literally said, oh, we're not getting anywhere near the level of service on our other assets that we're getting here. We need to start doing interviews and make some changes. That process, though, we didn't rush because I think I interviewed 12. So in a market that we're in, Lexington, Kentucky, I interviewed 12 management companies on the phone. 3 or 4 made it to me wanting to do in-persons. And then when we do that, we're touring their other properties. We're getting references and referrals. And what we're really looking for
That's some good advice right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're looking for in-market experience with similar type assets as the number one indicator that they will be successful with your property. So if there's a management company that is really highly rated in Louisville, for example, but doesn't have any projects or maybe just one project in Lexington, I'm not interested in them in Lexington because even their processes are great and all that. I want to see that you have specific experience in that specific market that even though they're only an hour away, it's a different market, it's a different town, different contractors and all that. So we really narrowed it down to type of asset. So we have C-class assets. So I want a manager that has C-class experience in that town that has done the type of work that we're doing. So if our construction plan is to go in and renovate units, I want a manager that has renovated units before and can handle doing inspections and bringing in contractors and all of that stuff that goes into it. The best indicator for me is experience doing that already. I've spoken to a lot of great companies that are like, yeah, we want to, you're going to be our first one in that market. I'm like, sorry, I'm not willing to do that with you. Yeah, exactly. I'm not willing to do that with you because that's just the standards that we've set because we've been burned in the past, honestly. And so it's not something that I want to do. Now, you go and you get a whole bunch of experience in that market with other people and we might, I'm not shutting the door for the future, or maybe I want to maybe I'll find a property in the market that I'll absolutely call you. But in this market for this property, maybe it doesn't work. And so we have to be very, very hyper specific about criteria for our management companies because they are the ones that are looking after our assets. Even though it's my job and I'm responsible to the investors and the rest of the general partnership, the property management team is there every day. And they're the ones deciding, do we fix this? Do we not? Do we tell the ownership about it? Do we not? We're putting a lot of trust and faith in their experience and their staff. And that's not to say we don't check on them. We tend to go out to our properties every 6 to 8 weeks. I'm on site at our properties. And it's a bit of travel, but we want to keep an eye on everything that's going on because
that's right.
Seeing that the property manager can show you and tell you a story that they want you to know about the property. And they'll send you pictures and videos, but you're limited to where they decide to point that camera, right?
That's right.
You're right. So I was in North Carolina, and a fellow syndicator asked me to check on a property that he owns there. And he lives all the way in the south, so he can't just up and drive there every day, So a couple of the assumptions that not assumption, but a couple of the things that the property manager should have fixed was not the case. To include sending in pictures saying this was repaired. So I looked at it, sending pictures and videos. Were like, I appreciate you for going there, Hutch. Yeah, so you always want to inspect what you expect. Always.
Absolutely. We actually have local investors that we partner with in every market that we're in. And so I found them through Bigger Pockets. Usually the folk, if I'm ever going to a property, I usually try to attend a local meetup or make a local meetup if the schedule doesn't work out. And we'll just say like, hey, we're multifamily investors. We have property in this town, or we want to have property in this town. Let's organize a meetup at this pizza place or bar or whatever, and we want to meet some local folks. So from that, we build relationships with local investors. Maybe they've seen Matt on Bigger Pockets or something, and they want to work with us. And so we have team members now in every market that go and inspect our properties for us. And I get a report every week.
Nice.
We usually do every other, so we have in Lexington 3 assets. And so basically every other week, this guy is walking our properties. And so I'm seeing the things that the manager doesn't, and it's not like they're intentionally hiding things, but oh yeah, there's a bunch of trash over by the dumpster, or this wire's hanging down, or the glass in the window's broken. And so it's just helpful for us to have someone that we can trust that's going to go take photos and videos, and then just send it off to the management company, and then they know that someone can come by at any time
and check their work.
exactly.
I mean,